about it. Because they told you, think about it. Come only if you're going to tell us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Right? And you had 11 days to think about it. You thought about it, and that's why you went, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we're going to get to the lie. But before that, I'm going to put to you this, that lie that you said earlier was spontaneous, that you said yesterday, it just, you're overwhelmed by the fear of these investigators, that was actually a lie. That you lied yesterday on the stand when you said it was spontaneous and today. Because I suggest, and I put to you, sir, that during that 11-day period, you were getting your ducks in a row for your lie. And you were thinking of a very creative lie to give to the prosecutors, that you had no intention of telling them the full truth. What do you say?
That is not the matter.
Okay. Now let's go to this document. And let's see how this interview begins. And I think this is important, Your Honor, because it goes again to show, one, his intentions and also those of the investigators in answering the question as to whether they put him in fear and what have you. So now I'm looking at, thank you, tab 30. Now you're going to have to go to tab 30. Now you know how to do it. So we don't have to have anybody assist you. I'm looking at Ken OTP 01350041. That's the first page. It says 25 March 2014, track 1. And we'll start at 01350047. So if you look at that document and you go to page number 6, that's probably the easiest way to find it. And I'm going to start with line 211. And when you get there, let us know.
Page 6 to 11.
You're there. Good. All right. So, interviewer 1. And it looks like, if we look at the first page, the two interviewers are the same that were in the previous conversation, the telephone conversation that you had. So we're not going to mention names. So anyway, interviewer 1 goes, okay, I'm going to ask you because the situation is very serious. I'm going to ask you, we're going to record everything that you say, but I need your full and frank honesty in everything you tell me. And you say, line 214, yes, of course, yes. Let me stop right here. I take it you understood the question that was posed to you by the interviewer, and that's why you answered yes, of course, yes.
They required me to say the truth, and I answered an affirmative.
Well, well, I didn't ask you whether I'm asking you, did you understand the question?
Yes.
Okay. And so when you said yes, of course, yes, you knew exactly what was expected of you. Okay. Now, 215, line 215. This is very serious. And then they talk about, they're looking at your security, and I need you to be completely honest. Because as you told us yesterday, there was almost a quid pro quo. You wanted security and had something for them. They wanted something from you. You wanted something from them. Right? You wanted them to assist you with your security situation. And that's why you called them back to say, can I come back into the fold, into the company? And they said, yes, but you got to tell us the truth. Am I putting it right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. So they say, I suspect that okay, I'm going to be upfront with you as well. So then no hidden agendas. I suspect that you've been potentially playing both sides on the same point, okay? You understood what he meant by both sides?
Yes.
Okay. And then he goes on, that doesn't matter. And I'm not really concerned about that. What I'm concerned about is this security threat, and we have to address it. So I want you to be full and frank with me. I want you to be open and to tell me the full truth, because it is going to be very difficult for us to move and to do anything for you if you're not full and frank with me. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. And then it goes on. You just need to know, all right, this is, as I said, this is no way a plot to trick you in any way. No plot to trick you in any way. Now, when they were saying these things, were they saying it in a threatening manner? That you felt fear for your life, that somehow they were going to arrest you and take you away? That's the question. I had an inflection at the end.
What's the question, please?
The question is, when they were telling you these things, when he says, this is not a trick question, this is not, I'm not trying to trick you. They're saying, if we're going to try to help you, you have to be full and frank with us, okay? When they were saying that, and they actually were they not on your side? Were they not trying to help you?
I said I was also observing their body language. The people I had met before, this was the first time I had met the investigators. And I observed their body language, the way they were expressing themselves was quite different with the previous occasions. That's why I had my fears.
Okay.
But after a little time, I was comfortable and we went on with our
All right. Okay. Can you just explain to me what you mean by body language? I mean, what was it? Were they flexing their muscles, doing something, like breaking pencils? What exactly were they doing that were giving you this impression that somehow they were out to get you, to arrest you, and to put you in fear? Please describe that for us so we can have the full picture.
I observed the way they were asking me these questions, the way the way they appeared to me was quite different with the previous occasions. That's what I mean.
Okay, are you saying their tone was too high or aggressive?
At times the tone had changed. At times they were not as much as friendly as they used to be. I found some differences.
Okay. So not as friendly as I'm being with you right now.
You are never friendly.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, all right. Well, let's go to line 27, 227. It says, but we need to get the right information from you to be able to respond to that, because, as we said, this is serious, particularly if you want our assistance. Okay? I move on. They ask you on line 233, what's your motivation for turning up today? Why have you decided to turn up today? And be honest with me. Meaning, be honest with me as to your motivation. Do you see that? Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And of course, the part that I want to focus on, well,
Be mindful of the name in the next paragraph, Mr.
yes. Yes. I'm on the next page. It's 01350050. Apologies. You say that you were seen back in the community. This is on line 324. You were seen back in the community. They were relieved from attacks and something, and that the community was very ready to attack those people. So you were talking about your security situation in that, right?
Yes.
Okay. And that's one of the reasons, that was the motivating factor, that you decided that you were going to go there and this time you're going to tell them the truth. Right?
That's one of the reasons.
Okay. To save some time, I'm not going to, I'll skip the rest because the name is there, but let's go into the next page, which is 01350051. And if you could focus your attention on line 366, it says, I would like to interview you, but it's a formal interview, a full and frank interview with you about your involvement, as well as who's instructed you. Give you the opportunity to hear what evidence that we have in the witness intimidation case. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
In other words, the investigators were prepared to provide you with some information about what they knew, hoping that you would be truthful with them. So in other words, they had some information, they were going to share it with you, and they were hoping that you would share with them your information so maybe they could have a complete picture, right?
Yes, of which I did after the end of the 3 days.
We'll get to that. Trust me, I'm going to allow you to speak as much as you want when we get to that part. I just want to get through this. So when we get to 372, line 372, as I said before, I want you to be open to us. And it will be a tell-all. A tell-all. Did you understand what he meant by saying tell-all?
Tell everything.
Tell everything. Incidentally, again, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's almost too tempting not to. By this point,
Yes, they were still continuing with the investigation.
right. And again, not to get ahead of myself, it wasn't until the proofing session in the Ruto and Sang case, months later, after many, many discussions with you, that the OTP brought it to your attention and said, hey, by the way, we noticed here that you had this secret meeting. It was they who brought it up, right?
The same matter I had already discussed earlier on, even before that time,
You had discussed your unauthorized
with the investigators during during the time when I was doing the recording, and I handed over the recordings to the investigators.
Okay, let me.
At that time, the recordings were all given.
Sir.
And therefore, I spoke about the recording, not during this time we are talking about only. I had already spoken about it several times.
Sir, I didn't ask you whether you turned over the recordings. Okay?
You asked if I have spoken about the recording before.
Sir, if I may, just answer this question. The prosecutor brought it to your attention, and it was Mr. Steinberg who was present, and we have the video. We may even get to see it, where he's raising it for the very first time. That, hey, by the way, we just discovered that you had this unauthorized meeting. it was them that brought it to your attention and not you the other way around. And I'm not suggesting that you didn't turn over the tapes. I'm suggesting you never revealed that you had a meeting with that gentleman on that particular, to the prosecution, to the investigators.
To the investigators?
Yes.
If we may look in the records.
Is it yes or no?
Excuse me.
Okay, go ahead.
If you may look, if you may take your time to look into the documents of when I handed over the recording, all the information you're asking me about was discussed then. It was during this time that you are meeting, at the meeting you are talking about, that we also spoke about it.
Okay.
And I was invited to speak about it by the
All right.
prosecution during that time.
Okay.
But it has not been that it was the first time that I was discussing about that matter.
All right, I just want to make sure, under
Mr.
oath.
Canavas, I think this is a good time to break. For
Can I
30
just get this
minutes.
one last question in,
Okay,
Your Honor?
please, yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure, I want to commit. Because you're getting into dangerous territory. I'm just telling you right now.
It's not just about even the meeting. Maybe the witness needs to know, and that would be in private session, which gentleman you are talking about. Maybe he needs to refresh his memory. So let's break off.
I can
And when
refresh
we
it,
come
yeah.
back and look at the list, he'll refresh his memory and answer your question. Thank you very much. So we'll break for 30 minutes. We'll meet again for 11:30.